The world famous Butch and Bob Show.
World famous Butch and Bob Show right here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup, Big Dog Country Radio. Bob, you doing well?
Doing well.
Doing well. We got a guest in the studio with us. We got guests in the green room. So let's go ahead and start with the world famous Butch and Bob Show here on WIFO.
Again, a lot been going on with the Wayne County School Board. Several meetings. A call board meeting last Friday. The regular meeting this past Tuesday. A lot of talk about the two projects that are being built due to the East Loss being passed, but we got board member Todd Wise in the studio, District 3 representative, running for re-election. Appreciate you coming in. And we've invited everybody in, so I'm going to start you off with a simple yes or no question, okay? Your opinion. Here we go. If not for about 20 to 25 people showing up at the last Friday call meeting and about 75 to 80 concerned citizens showing up at this past Tuesday's meeting, is the proposed $12.1 million, 36,000 square foot facility already approved on a 3-2 vote by this Board of Education?
No.
No?
No. We have not voted on this.
I know you have, but I'm saying if not for...
I can't answer that because I know where I stand on that, Bob, and I appreciate that. Each one of us have our opinion on that, where we stand. I'm standing right now against that $12 million no because I've done some research on it. Now, that is not to say, and I know you've been in these meetings, and I appreciate it. Our ag students have done a great job. We appreciate them.
Do you think you got two other people to go along to stop? I mean, I'm on my way to Emerson, Georgia Friday,
right.
And the person I'm driving with was able to connect the live feed for the call board meeting with the architect showed up. And I want to go back to the February 13th meeting because one board member was just ready to move forward. Let's get this thing rolling. But you and Tina said, no, we'd like to meet with the architect. That's why the meeting was set up with the architect, because y'all asked for that meeting. Is that correct?
That's correct. We all did afterwards when we were looking at the plans. That's the first time I saw the plans, and the architect was gracious enough to come down. He brought it to us. We looked at it. In my opinion, I believe that we can do better than $12 million, right. And that's not trying to take anything from our ag people. I have met with them on numerous occasions, and I've talked with them, and it's a square footage issue. It's
right.
cost driven on square foot.
Right. It's like $300 square foot,
yes.
36,000 square foot. So like I said, I'm watching this video, and I'm yelling at the video saying, please, someone ask the architect, sir, what do we get for $6 million? What do we get for $5 million? What do we get for 26,000 square feet? What do we get for 20,000 square feet? Or better yet, just say, look, we're not spending more than $6 million. What do we get for that? But nobody did that.
I asked him actually in the back. In my opinion, what I would like to see happen is that we cap it out. And everybody talks about COVID. Well, that ship sailed. That's over with. COVID.
Okay.
So if I gave you a 50% increase and I gave you a $5 million budget, that's a $2.5 million increase. That puts you at a $7.5 million ag facility, and a $7.5 million ag facility is a phenomenal facility. Like we have talked about, you hear the old adjective, they deserve it. Well, they don't deserve it. They've earned it. With the small amount of space that they've used, these young men and women have done a phenomenal job. The issue is that I also brought up with the architect is the square footage, the labor costs, the material costs, and the board was all gracious about it. So we actually asked him to go and revise these plans and bring the square footage down. Now, I brought up Tuesday night that I wish, and I don't know if we could do it still, that I wish it would have been farmed out to multiple architects. I'd like to have 4 versus 1. Now, is that possible? I don't know. That's what I recommended. And then have our local contractors be able to bid on this, which I know they will, because we have some phenomenal local contractors as well. So this is where I'm going in that direction, and we have done good. We're waiting on the plans to actually come back so we can see what the new cost is, how many feet is taken out. So we'll let you know on that.
And I want to stress again, and this has been stated many, many times, no one is against the ag facility.
That's correct.
Everybody knows that the ag facility is going to be built because they, like you said, they deserved it. It was voted on by the East Bloss. Everybody wants an ag facility. The question is, what's the cost going to be? I want to go back before the East Bloss was passed, and I've told this several times here on this Butch and Bob show. Superintendent board members are out looking for support from the community for the East Bloss. So they met with athletic-minded people, Touchdown Club, people like that. And they said, please go out and support the East Bloss because we need this. And once we get the East Bloss passed And once we build the Ag Center and the ROTC facility, there's going to be plenty of money left for athletics. Going to build a weight room, and the only decision is going to be made is JC Stadium, and the decision is going to be made by the Board of Education. And the only decision would be left with all that money left is will we renovate the stadium or build a brand new stadium. But now with the cost for James E. Bacon, which is being used by the East Block funds and the other needs by the school system, it's come to the realization there's really no money for athletics, and that's what people are upset about. So if you build a $12.1 million ag facility, there's definitely going to not be any. So that's all true, right?
That's correct.
So what kind of money is going to be left for athletics? Do you have any idea?
We were talking the other day in reference to the Ag and RTC. This was the original proposal before we have sent it back to have a new rendition of the Ag and the RTC building. So you have $3 million coming off to pay off for James E. Bacon. You got $12.1 million for the Ag, the proposal. You have $3.8 for the ROTC, which is the proposal. That puts us at $18.8 million. Now, if you take $2 million for buses, you take technology, you add all that in, you talk about a funding for roofs, repairs, and all, you could be in the mid 20 millions, around 24, such. It does give us a lot of room. However, now what we have talked about doing is with the revision of the ROTC and the Ag building, if we can get those prices down to where everybody is happy, that means the whole community. That's not separating Ag and athletic, but the entire community together, and everybody is comfortable with it, then we will have some money left over that we can put toward these other projects. And that's what we're shooting for.
If you just joined us, we got school board member Todd Wise in studio. I went back and looked at my notes at those couple. I was only able to attend a couple of those meetings,
Right.
But my notes, I mean, it's written clear. Proposal for Ag was $7 million ROTC for it. The two projects together that was what was discussed at those meetings. Am I missing something?
No, you're right. And I say this, and I'm not making excuses. You know, I've been fortunate to get elected in this position. I've been in there for 13 months now, and I'm finding out things every single day that I have to study, research. But I will say this: we understand that the price tag on everything is high, and we're trying to find that happy medium. Like I said, when the plans originally came in and we got to review them the other day, beautiful drawing. I can't blame the architect for the simple reason: if you give an architect a budget of $12 million, they're going to draw you a $12 million plan. If I told him to draw me a $5 million plan, then he's going to draw me a $5 million plan. So I'm not blaming the architect. I wish we would have been able to have multiple bids on it. So what we had to do was meet with that architect and say, hey, we need to reduce this by this cost. This has got to come down. You know,
if it was proposed when the East Block was being sold to the community, and as you said, the notes show, we've gone back and looked at it, it was $7 million proposed for the Ag Center, $4 million for ROTC. If that was proposed, and that's just last year, so you're not talking about 3-4 years ago.
That's correct.
Not much prices have changed in 1 year. Then why wasn't it proposed to? I mean, everybody was on board. The Ag people, the Wayne County community, everybody was on board for $7 million. How did that go from 7 to 12 in less than a year?
I can't answer that, and the reason I'll tell you I can't answer that is because when I stepped onto the board originally, the Ag people, the committees, and everybody was doing a dream sheet of what they wanted it to look like. They meant to other facilities, and then when they came back, we were advised this is a cardboard drawing that we have the picture in the Board of Office. This is what it's going to look like. This is our proposal, et cetera, et cetera. Then they came back and said now it's going to cost $12.1 million. That includes architect fee, your furniture's light. It was 10 something originally, and then when you add in the $600,000 for the architect fee, it came out to 12.1. That's when I sat back and I said, I personally think we can do better with our money. We are not an open checkbook. I'd like to see everybody get what they need, not what we want, and that's where we're working at now.
Well, I know that the school board and everyone went to the athletic-minded people, all the different booster clubs and so forth, and said, we need your help in passing this. We're going to have some funds for athletics and so forth. And they all got on board and got excited. And then they heard what they heard this past week, and they're just all tremendously felt like they were misled.
I agree with that. That is what I heard as well. I wasn't part of that committee nor on the board at that time when this was going on. However, I'm taking the reins right now to appease both parties, and rightfully so. Now, I know everybody's harping about athletics. However, our community also has to be deeply involved with ag and with RTC. Now, flipping aside, are we in the region we in? Do we need new facilities? Absolutely. Our weight room is a disaster. Our stadium should be condemned. I agree with that. If you really want to know the truth.
Bob's never said that on the air, but he's come very close to it.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the structure damage on it and everything else. So you have to put the priorities in perspective. And for us to be successful in the arena of athletics, yeah, we need to upgrade our facilities. For the region we're going in, that's a tough region. And then on the flip side, with our ag community, these young men and women have done so much with so little. And I know y'all been to the little ag center behind the ag building where they walk their little cows and pigs. It's like 200 square feet. And yet they're going to the state and everything they're doing. So
and doing well.
Yeah, and doing extremely well.
They're kind of like the swim team.
Yeah,
you know,
they're phenomenal.
You know, somebody went in the backyard, and so it's amazing.
In reality, they should have had this 6 years ago.
Did you go on the tours to the other ag facilities like Doug?
I went on a private one myself, but I did not get to go to the one. I've been to the one in Pierce County, and I've been to the one in Southeast Florida.
Okay, and they got one in Coffee and Ware. And
that's correct.
And the word is that all those facilities are nice facilities, and the price tag was around $4 million for all those.
Between
facilities.
4 and 5 of what they built in 2019, and we've talked about that. I can assure you. And the issue is when you're looking at a 20,000 square foot, which most of them have, we're looking at a 36,000 square foot. You're talking about 16,000 square foot, which is astronomical on the cost. So that is where we have sat down with the plans that we received, and we met with the agricultural people, and we said, look, what can we do? However, if we do it now, does it leave room for expansion when it grows? So the plans that we are looking at, we do have a room to cut square footage out, but we also left it open for expansion in the near future if we needed to build another project onto that. So that's a good win-win for everybody. But we really got to work on these prices.
So before it's all said and done, what do you think is going to happen? Are they going to go less square footage and lower the price? Or
I hope so, because that's the only way they're going to get my vote. And I'm not saying that bad. Please don't misinterpret that. I'm just saying that we need to find that common ground to where we can please everybody, and everybody is happy.
Just do what was said and promised.
That's right.
Just keep your word.
Just keep your word. And we promised you an agriculture building. Let's deliver. Let's deliver your state of the technology RTC building. However, let's don't go overboard so that we take away from everybody else as well.
This is one mayor here in Wayne County says, just do right.
Yep, just do right.
Can we talk CARES Act money, COVID relief funding, which was Wayne County School System received millions and millions of dollars. Again, years ago, I contacted Congressman Buddy Carter, asked how much the school system got. It was like $21.7 billion. So at the school board meeting, I did ask the question, how did the school system use the money? You asked the question the other night to the superintendent, and he said he would get to the information. So have we seen the information? I mean,
I did. Last night, the superintendent sent it out to all the board members. He sent us out a PDF file, and I'm grateful for that. I hadn't had a chance to review it because it came in late when I was writing all these answers down, but it is there are so many technical words in there from the school system that I have to look up to review.
So you're really having to study it.
I'm having
to study background to understand it.
Yes. And
fully.
Yeah. So before I make a comment one way or the other, I need to make sure that my terminology is correct and that we're using the fundings correctly. However, I will assure you, I will go through it with a fine-tooth comb. I will speak to individuals on things that I might not understand the terminology on, but we did receive it last night, so I'm grateful for that, and that gives us the opportunity to review and look at it.
You are running for re-election, so just want to ask you, how's the experience been on the school board?
I mean, if you want to know the truth, it is a very thankless and tough job. I found out that my phone continuously rings to about midnight. I got up yesterday morning at 5:30 and had 2 voicemails that were left at 5:10 and 5:15 in the morning.
They called you that early?
That early. And they said, hey, I just wanted to let you know I'm complaining about something. it's been good overall. Let me explain this. I love my teachers. The teachers in this county are phenomenal. Our administrators, food service, bus drivers, maintenance, everybody is phenomenal to work with. I worry about why we're losing so many teachers at an alarming rate. I think that we need to support, and we're putting a heavy workload on them right now. And you think about something, Bob, and you and I've talked about this. If I am a new business, or if I am moving to Wayne County and I have kids, what's the first thing I'm going to look at? The school system. I'm going to look at the graduation rate. I'm going to look at the teacher ratio. I'm going to look at discipline issues. And that will be a determination whether I build, buy, or whether I move a business into this county. So we've got to do better on that.
And test scores, too.
Test scores, literacy issues that we're dealing with now. And that is a priority over anything to me, is making sure a kid can read and write before they graduate.
I said before on this show, and I'll say it again, it's all about decision making. And over the years, this is what I heard and observed about the school system over the last several years. Martha Ross Smith School was built in a swamp, and that overrun cost to build that school. We're still, that was a bunch of paid money with East Plus funds as well. Then they passed on renovation of the JC Stadium that Jay Brinson and the football coach and the track coach and everybody wanted to do. Instead, they went with Sharon Daniels' option to build an 8-lane track at the high school, which is hardly used. It just sits there. So, and then we move on to the James E. Bacon School. And at the time, the story was we're going to renovate that school and save money, because instead of building a brand new school, if you renovate, it's going to save you money. Well, I went back and looked at those notes. The projection cost on when they were going to build that was $14 million. We're at 24 and climbing. So the question people keep asking, why would anybody have any faith and confidence in the school system when they keep making bad decision after bad decision?
And I agree with that. I mean, everybody has the right to question it. My suggestion is come to these meetings like you showed up the other night, Bob. It was outstanding. To have 40 or 50 or 60 or 70 people there asking questions, that shows you're actively involved in the community. And we need that. We need your support. Now, I would say this. You asked me about running again. Being on it for 13 months, I didn't think I'd have to run this quick. And it makes me second guess whether I want to or not after everything that's going on. But the only way that I can stay into the fight and do what's right for the young men and women, the children, the community, is stay in the fight and do the best job I can. Now, remember, it's a 5-panel. You can be outvoted 3-2, 4-1. It doesn't matter, but I can only do what's right. And that's what I'm going to continue to do.
Most people tell you got to have 3.
That's
you
right.
Got 3, you're in good shape.
So,
well, hopefully, they'll. I'm like you. I was kind of surprised they only went with one architect and not several plans.
Yes.
I mean, especially a project that big, you thought you'd have to bid it out to several. But again, I'm just hoping common sense prevails. They realize that $12.1 million is way beyond the norm. I think the ag facility people understand that as well. I mean, I talked to several people. They want a facility, but they never thought it was going to be $12.1 million either. So, I mean, and again, we stress again, no one is against the ag facility.
That's right. Nobody's against the ag facility.
And you made that comment before you made any comment. That was the first thing you would say.
Yes.
I'm not against the ag facility.
I'm not against it 100%.
I just think $12.1 million is, we need to rethink that.
Well, it passed on the Ag Center and the
ROTC,
and that as the two main projects.
As the two main projects.
There's agreement on that. It's just that we were told it was going to be $7 million.
Yes, and like I said, that's an issue, and that's what we're addressing. Because I agree with y'all, and I've met with the ag community, and they agree also. 12.1 is a lot of money,
right?
So, but they have been great with it. They've worked with us, and so I commend them on that. But we got to do better from a monetary standpoint and not have an open checkbook for everybody. We just need to really do our due diligence and our research on it.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you coming in.
Thank you so much.
Like I said, it's been some interesting meetings, but hopefully they can find a smaller square footage. As you said, and that's the issue. I was yelling. It was all about the square footage.
That's
because
right.
I asked him, how much is a square foot? And he said it's basically $280, $300. So do the math. I said it's kind of like building a house. The bigger the house, the more money you're going to spend. So,
and I believe our baseball team's playing tonight. Where?
Yeah, we're way across tonight.
Yeah, they're playing down there, and we'll have the game on.
Congratulations.
We received several complimentary text messages in for you.
Thank you.
Okay, for people calling in saying thank you for coming on the air, for your openness and willing to be able to inform the public, and they're glad that you're their board representative and things. So a lot of them come in.
Well,
so I just want to let you know that we got several men thanking you for coming on the air and being so open.
Yeah, we do appreciate it. Like I
I
said,
appreciate
the other
y'all.
people are invited as well. So
Everybody's invited.
That's right. And I appreciate y'all allowing us to come in and at least give our opinion and what's going on. And that takes the heat off of a lot of people, because y'all have done a phenomenal job on keeping up with this. And if it wasn't for you and doing this, then a lot of people might not have showed up the other night, might not have these questions that you're asking right now because they're not actively involved. So thank you. I appreciate everybody.
All right, school board member Todd Wise is School board member Todd Wise, right here on Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup. All right, we've got another guest. They'll come on back here on the world famous Butch and Bob Show. WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup, Big Dog Country Radio. And we continue on with the world famous Butch and Bob Show. We got guests here in the green room. Bob, who do we have? Oh, we have in the studio.
Well, we got Shelby Anderson at the Boys and Girls Club, a great organization here in Wayne County, does a lot of good for a lot of kids, and we just want her to come in. I saw where they got a big event coming on, and I ran into her in a restaurant. I said, Shelby, what's this poster? I hadn't got any information, but she did send me the information, so we promoted it last week and this week. So appreciate you coming in, Shelby.
That's
and
right.
Who's your guest with you?
Good morning. I have Brooke Martin. She is my board member, and she's been a part of the Boys and Girls Club since about
2018.
Yeah, 2018.
Yeah.
So I started in January 2018, and then she joined and has been with us and is a great member and does a lot of good things for the Boys and Girls Club. So we're happy she's here.
Good. Tell us what you got going on.
All right, so Boys and Girls Club of the Omaha area, we are presenting our spring fundraiser. I'm actually going to pass the torch over to Brooke, and she's going to kind of start giving some details on it. So this is going to be on March 9th from 7 to 11 p.m. So
Okay.
So basically, it's an adult prom. Our theme is going to be Cirque du Soleil, or as we like to call it, a fancier circus. Basically, it's just going to be a fun event. We're going to have a DJ, some dancing. We've hired some aerialists to come in. They're going to be setting up a big 15-foot rig and twirling around on some silks. Got a balloon artist coming, some photographers. So it's going to be a really good time. We're also going to have some light bites, probably like 4 food stations. And the Tipsy Trotter Cash Bar is going to be joining us, too, for people who want to purchase some drinks. So this is a 21 and over event. But, yeah.
Where's it going to take place at?
It's going to be at the Breen McCann House downtown on East Cherry Street. So it's that large
And are you looking
house.
for different, for certain age group in here?
I would say 21 and up, yes, sir.
But everybody.
Everybody.
Yes,
Everybody can go.
everybody.
We want everyone.
Everybody can go.
Yes, we'd love it. And that's the
Every
thing.
age from 21 on up.
That's exactly right. With
Okay.
the Boys and Girls Club, whatever age you are, you are welcome. So please come and join us if you're thinking about it.
And the you said the theme is the circus?
Yes,
Circus.
yes, fancy circus. So I passed
Fancy
it.
circus
I
name.
passed it over with Brooke because I had trouble saying the
Cirque du Soleil.
name.
Say it,
Circus.
say it, Brooke.
Cirque du Soleil.
Cirque du Soleil. So we have to be upfront with our flaws, and that's one of them. So that's where we hand it over to Brooke.
And everyone's invited. And how do they get registered for this?
So you can buy them online. We got a ticket portal that you can go to on the Boys and Girls Club Facebook page. You can just click the link and buy a ticket that way, or you can always go to the Boys and Girls Club here in town and visit Shelby at the office. She's got actual tickets that you can purchase. So
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
So ticket price wise, they are $40 right now. At the door, they will go up to $50. So we really are pushing some pre-sales. That way we kind of have a heads up of what kind of crowd we'll have coming and the size number, but really just to help give people a deal. Come buy it online beforehand and or by the Boys and Girls Club.
And
So
this is called a prom?
a prom,
A
yes.
prom. So you
A
should dress up
prom.
like you would in high school as a prom.
If you'd like
If you'd
to.
like.
Yes, if you'd like to. I have nothing against, bringing bringing back some decades, whatever you feel comfortable in, whatever you'd like to. If you'd like to do a formal dress, do a formal dress. If you'd like to do a sundress, do a sundress. If you want to go buy David's Clothing and get a tux, that is great. Or if you want to just put some slacks on, some khakis,
we could
that's
do that
fine.
like in the 70s if I went. I could do the ruffle shirt,
Please
and the white
do.
collars, and the weird
Now I'm going to be
colors
expecting this. So please, I'm so glad that you said
Now
that.
you say it's going to be
Please
at what house now again, Brooke?
So it's the Breen McCann house.
No, where is that?
It's the old Madge Soul House, right there on
What?
Cherry Street. Madge Soul House, where David Blaine wants to live.
yes.
That big old
And it's
house
got
right there
high
on
enough
yeah.
ceilings to be able to do the
It is going to
The
be
ribbons?
partly inside, but mostly we're going to be outside.
Okay, so the ribbon. I'm going to say I've been in that house, and I don't remember, unless you knocked out a floor. I mean, if you didn't have a floor in there, it'd be high.
Right.
I'm
No,
sure
well,
they didn't do that.
The biggest
So it's going to
thing.
be outside with the doing
Mostly
the ribbons.
outside.
Yeah.
Yes.
When I say ribbons, it's going to be people acrobats on them.
We'll have them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Acrobats
That's
and
it.
ribbons. Have you seen in circuses and on TV and in Vegas and so forth?
Oh, yeah, that's exactly right. And, I did not realize the backyard layout behind that house. But to be in the center of downtown right there and to have the backyard it does, we are just so thankful for them to let us use this home as our venue because it's just out of the box. It's different. It's something that, I never expected. Whenever I pulled up to the backyard, I was like, oh, my goodness. This is lovely.
This is lovely.
So we really do. It is just lovely. So we'll be fine. We will have a tent there where we'll have our light bites under, and we'll have some ribbons going. And like we said, we mentioned the aerialist, and then we'll also have a gentleman coming to do balloon art, the balloon animals and stuff. But it's not just gonna be your typical little dog. It'll be like if you want a full size monkey. You can get a full-size monkey.
This guy's talented with his balloons.
That's exactly right.
Well, like all proms, is king and queen's going to be selected, and
That's
I
right.
see those. We ran down the contestants. How is the king and queen going to be selected? Is it a voting process, or people? Is that how you raise the money, or how's it work?
So basically, they are collecting donations for the Boys and Girls Club. And they're doing it all different ways. We've seen a lot of cool stuff. So like DJ Jones, he was raffling off a gun, and that's how he has been collecting donations. I know Glenn Pond, he's raffling off $1,000 credit to Magic Mattress for every $25 donated to the club.
Lord,
Some
I wish I
people-
could have won that. I just bought
Hey,
a
he's-
mattress.
he's-
I'm
Oh,
kidding you.
man. Well, and then you have Mickey Thomaston, who's been on Facebook. Sun up to sundown.
Yes.
Posting her stuff, hustling, getting this money in, which Mickey Thomaston was once a board member of the Boys and Girls Club.
Yes.
So, she's passionate about our mission, and it's definitely showing with her posting. But mentioning our contestants, let's go ahead and give
Yeah.
our list off and just
Okay.
really applaud these
they've
ladies
all
and
been
gentlemen
working.
that
Yeah.
just have went above and beyond, because that is where you make the bulk money of this fundraiser. That's where it's very identical to like Mr. Wayne County. Those guys, they're a hoot too whenever we do Mr. Wayne County with raising money, but they really we even have Gooey's Pizza right now is doing a special for 2 of our contestants. If you order a chicken bacon pizza, I think, and a cheese pizza, they'll let you know exactly which one, but they're actually donating a portion over to 2 contestants as well. So really, people are thinking outside the box, and we just appreciate it. So without further ado, Brooke.
Okay, so for our queen nominees, we have Crystal Flowers, Chastity Geiger, Michaela McKinnon, Misty Moore, Miranda Smiley, Mickey Thomaston, and Tara Whitaker. And then for our king nominees, we have Dylan Brinkley, Colt Brockington, DJ Jones, Randy Mobley, Glenn Pond, Anthony Robinson, and Devontae Wilson.
Okay, well, good. Now, usually when you think of prom, you think of entertainment. They're going to be entertainment anytime. Is there going to be a dance floor, or is it just walking around?
Well, we'll have our dance floor going the whole night from 7 to 11. We have a great local DJ, Carson Popple. He's going to be joining us, setting up, and he's already working on his playlist. So we told him just whatever direction he goes in, I'm sure it'll be a good one. We'll have, obviously, our balloon man and our aerialist, and then really just having some reflection on the Boys and Girls Club and our mission on, what we do. And I will say this, with this event, we definitely could not do it without our sponsors that have signed up. They have really just said, we support the mission. We want this event to be successful, so that way the Boys and Girls Club can get some funds. So we're going to list them off, and we're going to start with our presenting diamond sponsor, Neesmith. Our gold.
Neesmith Chevy?
That's right,
Okay.
Neesmith Chevy. So our gold sponsor, Boykin Steel and Crane. Our silver sponsors, Jones Prescription Shop, Murphy's Builder Supplies. Bronze sponsors, Deals and Steels, R&R, Westbury Rentals, and Ralph and Jamie Hickox. So we really do appreciate all each of our sponsors and their dedication to our mission, because some of them, not only do they sponsor to this event, but they are just our community's funders. You know,
Okay.
we right now we're actually in our community funding campaign where we are going to businesses and asking for them to sign up to help support our mission. And, you know, I haven't been on, so I do have something that I can speak on, you know,
Go right
something that's
ahead.
kind of new with the club. So like we spoke about, like probably a little bit after COVID, was about what we were facing with the Boys and Girls Club with being maxed out. So we have kind of been looking at different avenues, different ways to expand and reach ultimately more kids in our community, because whenever you look at the numbers, I can remember I was really proud of, oh yeah, I've reached 90 kids, you know, that's our max capacity, I'm so proud. And then all of our waiting list started to grow, and I was like, you know, 90 of 5,000 students really is only a tip of an iceberg. So I kind of reached out to the Boys and Girls Club, got some direction, looked into it, and then I presented a plan to my board about club hubs. And what club hubs are is in-house after-school programs. And so we met with Dr. Kelly, and he presented it to the board. This was a little over a year ago. And they approved it to where the Boys and Girls Club can start a trial run of entering into the school system. And so we have actually two additional clubs. So I have my main site, then I have a club at Jesup Elementary School, and also one at James E. Bacon. So I've went from serving 90 children a day to 150. And what that is the after school program that I provide at my main site, I've integrated to be able to provide the same program at our schools. So, you know, this is a first for Wayne County. I appreciate Dr. Kelly being able to say, you know, we'll give it a shot. And with the reputation of the Boys and Girls Club and what we've done, you know, we've worked really hard to get to this point, and it's what we are really pushing our fundraising towards. You know, it's pushing towards this expansion program, not only to do some TLC on our main site, because we're working towards our gym, really making sure that it is top notch for our kids, but to be able to hire the staff to be able to run these club hubs. So our goal, you know, in the next in the upcoming years is to be able to have a club hub at each of the elementary schools. That's my goal. So
Have you
that's
done
where
that
I've
yet?
been. That's
have
it.
You've got it? Are they in there yet?
I have Jesup Elementary School and
I thought
James
you
E.
said
Bacon.
two. Okay,
Yes,
a
so
few
I
of
have
them
my
already.
two.
But
Yes.
where did you get the extra staff from to be able to?
Well, so with those club hubs, it's actually the school system staff. So they have some great paraprofessionals and some teachers that just wanted to have a extra job in the afternoons. So they clock
Okay,
out with the
that's
school
good.
system at 2:59 and clock in for the BGC at 3:00.
Absolutely amazing.
That's right.
That's great.
Oh yeah, yeah. So
Good
you
the-
know,
the school system stepped up to help out. the
oh,
Boys and
truly
Girls
they
Club. That's
did.
Really good.
Oh yeah, well we big partnership with the Wayne County school system, and I just appreciate it, because without it we would not be able to serve these additional 60 kids. And
60 more kids.
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
So you know the goal is just to keep going. And again, as a leader, I've learned a lot about myself through this. I think, you know, I really have taken a moment, and from starting this job at 24 to now be 30. I mean, in that 7 years, I've really just evolved. That's the best way to put it.
Well, the great thing about it, you brought stability to the position. When the Boys and Girls Club first began in Wayne County, I mean, it went through a transition where
That's right.
they went director after director after, you know, but you brought, like you said, you've been there 7 years now, brought
right.
stability. The program's flourishing, so
It
hats
is.
off to you and your staff. Good. It does a lot of good for a lot of kids.
Oh
so.
yeah, well I really do appreciate that, because again, I mean, it wouldn't without my board, without my staff, without my unit director Kate Ginn. I applaud her a lot, because you know, a lot of people, they just get to see me, but really I give her my vision and she runs with it. She does an extraordinary job. And so, you know, each of my club members, and I've been asked, you know, what was my motivation to make the club a different place than it was before, and it was the kids. I mean, it was the kids. And the one, I'd say my main kid was my pre-K, or then now fourth grader Trip Anderson. So he was a big motivation, and that's his place. He loves the club, and That's where he wants to be.
Okay. Well,
appreciate you
glad
coming
you're
in.
on the air with us
Yeah.
this morning.
Oh, yeah. Well,
see
thank
y'all.
you. But we have something fun to do real quick before we leave.
Go right ahead.
If we could, I guess I'll
You have
kind
time. Go
of
ahead.
hand it off. We want to do a competition, or not a competition,
Giveaway.
a giveaway. That's it. All right. We're not going to do a competition. But we were thinking we could do number 5 caller. Or texter.
Text.
Don't call. Please don't call. If you could, please text. I'll hand it over, and they'll give some details on how to win 2 tickets to our adult prom coming up.
Okay. Adult prom, age 21 and above. Adult prom coming up on what date again?
March 9th from
Okay.
7 to 11 p.m.
So you want me to do it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe Brooke was doing it. I thought.
No, you go for it.
All right, go for it.
You got this.
All right, 2 tickets to the Boys and Girls Club prom coming up on what date again?
March 9th.
March 9th, so it's right around the corner.
That's
Tickets
right.
are normally $40 in advance, $50 at the door, so you can get 2 tickets to be able to go to the prom there. The Boys and Girls are putting on at what location again?
The Breen McCann House.
Okay,
Yeah.
they're on
Downtown.
East Cherry Street. And all you need to do is to text in your name right now to 912-427-3711. Text your name in now at 912-427-3711. And that's 1 ticket per person, right?
That's right.
All right, so the first 2 that text in will win the ticket. So we got Bev Deal and Taylor Reddish.
Yay! Well, Bev Deal probably wanted to make sure that she's there because, again, Mickey has been hustling for that crown. She said, I want to see my daughter be prom queen of the BGC.
All right, Bev Deal and Taylor Reddish. Bev Deal and Taylor Reddish. Now, how do they get their tickets?
If we could, we actually have them where we could leave them
You can just
taped
leave,
on y'all's
just
door.
Come by
so-
the radio station. Yep, just come on by the radio station and pick those up. And Bev Deal and Taylor Reddish. We're getting so many in right now. They're coming in.
Gosh.
Oh, they're just flying in.
Well,
now.
listen, you guys, please still come to our event. We'd love to have you.
Yeah. So if you didn't win them, then just purchase yours from the Boys and Girls Club and be there. It's just $40, and it's going to be an evening of so much fun.
That's right. Well, we appreciate y'all having us so much.
Coming
All
in.
right. Take care. All right. 105.5 FM in Jesup, Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO, Taylor Reddish, and Bev Deal. Y'all come to the radio station here at 2420 Waycross Highway in Jesup and pick up your prom tickets to the Boys and Girls Club prom that's coming up in just a couple of weeks. WIFO FM in Jesup.